Hello, we GoFlamingo, and today I'm going to make some tea for everybody. Okay, so I think we have about 10 cups of tea to make. I already have got the water. Not putting exact measurements, approximately, like 3/4 of a cup. I think that's 7 cups. Hopefully, that's 7. If not, we'll have extra tea. And I think that's okay. So we have a nice induction stove here, and the background story is that the nice office lady who takes care of us, her daughter gave birth to a son, so she now has a grandson, because of which she isn't coming, and that's encouraged us to come into the kitchen and make some tea. All of you who are wondering why I'm putting that's a pretty noisy stuff. All of you who are wondering why I'm putting water first and not milk. I mean, if some of you think you put milk first with the tea. I used to be like one of those people, and in 6th standard I had a very nice teacher in 6th standard. She was very encouraging, and there was this one class where she asked us to write down recipes and come and recite it, and I wrote the recipe for tea, and my recipe started with boil the milk, and everybody in the class is like no, and this was 6th standard, by the way. So I wasn't that smart in 6th standard, but all my classmates were very smart. They were very smart to figure out that you're not supposed to put milk, and it took me many years to figure that out. In fact, I think I understood how coffee is made before tea is made. So yeah, so first you boil the water, and tea is basically a leaf. So after all these years, at least I understand that concept, which is tea is a leaf, and you try to get the essence of the tea out of the leaves by boiling the water. The hot water gets it out. Pretty nice stuff. It's going to take a while to heat up. Let me see if I can change the angle of the camera meanwhile. That's a little better. Maybe not. So this is Tata Tea Gold. This is pretty posh tea. I use Red Label at home. I don't know if Red Label is the posher one. I think Tata Tea Gold is posher it's more posh because they have this nice gold bag, and that's the bag that we got here. It smells nice too. And I think this is a tablespoon. So the sweet office lady, whose name I don't know, that's how rude an employee I am. I didn't get to know the name of the sweet office lady. I haven't asked her name, and she makes tea for us every day. I think she went last week Friday. Last week Friday is when we started making tea afternoon. So I tried it yesterday on Monday, and this is a tablespoon. So I have a smaller spoon at home, like a teaspoon. So when I did it the first time, I was like, 10 cups, yeah, I put like one of these at home. So I put 10 of these, and the tea became very bitter very quickly. Luckily, another person who works with us with me in the office, Sukesh, he was smart enough to come, and he put a lot of milk, and that dulled the bitter taste. So that's the thing about Indian tea, the difference between the tea bag. If I don't know if you've had the tea in the tea bag and this tea. The tea in the tea bag is not that bitter when you dip it in hot water. When you can still manage with some honey or sugar, I guess, to sweeten it. But these tea leaves can get very bitter. When I was growing up, so the tea is still, the water is still boiling, by the way. It's an induction stove. It's pretty fast. I would not recommend anybody to do that. Just touch the side of the pan. So when I was young, we had this, yeah, I think Discovery Channel is still there, but there used to be this program called Lonely Planet. It was a very nice program. It was about people traveling all over the world, and in one of these episodes, it was Iran. And the thing I remember from Iran, I forget, it was an Englishman I think who went to Iran, I forget his name, but he was pretty lively. Of all the cast, I think he was my favorite. He was a pretty lively person. So I think there's this person who drinks tea in that, and it's a big tall glass of tea, and with a sugar cube. I think he puts a sugar cube in between his teeth and he drinks the tea. I don't remember the scene exactly, but I think that's what it is. So I mean, now that I think back on it, and I think in Iran they leave the tea leaves on for a longer time, and it gives a very bitter taste. And I think, you know, if you can stomach that kind of bitter tea, I think you have very strong stomach. I don't have such a strong stomach, so I don't go for that bitter tea, that kind of bitter tea anymore. Okay, so the measurement, I think we have to make 10 cups, so I'm going to use a measurement that 1 spoon for 2 cups. So I'm going to put 5. I'll just put a little less than 5 so that it's not too bitter. The water is boiling, that's nice. Lower the temperature so that it simmers rather than boils. Let's see if I can. Yeah, so that's okay. That's too low. Yeah, that's like a mild simmer. So I want it to simmer rather than boil. Boiling probably might, you know, draw out the flavor very quickly. Now this is tea masala. I think Dilip sir's got tea masala for us. Dilip sir also makes his own tea masala. I've actually ordered a batch from him and it's very nice. His I think has less pepper. This has a little bit more pepper. And there's a cold going around in the office. So I think people like a little bit of masala in their tea. So when I used this tea masala the first time, I took a full spoon of that, like, yeah, and I put it, and I was very lucky because the masala didn't dissolve straight away and there was a big lump in the tea, and I just took out the lump quickly because something told me, okay, that's too much, or I think it was the aroma, it hit very quickly. So this tea masala is this is Everest tea masala is very strong, very nice too. A little bit more pepper for my taste, but it's pretty nice. So I got very lucky when I did it the first time because the aroma hit and I was like, okay, I have to remove the lump. And if I hadn't removed the lump, I think everybody would have had a very strong masala chai. Probably they would have just not had it. Okay, sugar. So what I'm going to do for sugar is, okay, this is pretty, yeah, this is, I think about a tablespoon. So about a tablespoon for each cup, little less than a tablespoon for each cup. So we're doing 10 cups, so maybe I'll put like 8 spoons of sugar. Raise the temperature a bit because the sugar that went in, I think it's like absorbing all the heat to dissolve, so the water went from simmering. Just mix it a bit. Yeah, the masala has, okay, I can faintly smell the masala, not too much. So we have a very nice cozy kitchen over here. I don't know if you can see, but the cups are all set up here. Probably change the angle once it's done. Now usually when I make tea at home, it's easier because it's tea for me, so I don't have to worry too much about how it tastes because I'm going to drink the tea. But here in office, you know, a lot of people are going to drink the tea, and these are very polite people, and I've observed if they don't like the tea, they just don't drink it. They may or may not complain. So what I do is take a little bit of the tea, put it in, and taste the tea. Okay, very bitter because of course it's pretty strong tea, 5 spoons. But there's no sweetness. Okay, the sweetness is not there to cut the bitterness. Let me see if it needs another spoon of sugar, spoon or maybe 2. And not much. Okay, a little bit. Okay, sweetness is there. Okay, it's not very sweet, but okay, it's not. So I'm gonna add maybe another spoon of sugar, just to be sure. It's just to cut the bitterness. Yeah, a lot of people have tea with cream, and I feel what that cream does is, I don't know what the actual purpose of cream is in tea. I feel it like it helps the stomach. So I've had this kind of tea before. If I remember correctly, I've had this kind of tea before, which is tea leaves and just straight bitter, and it's very hard. Firstly, it's not very easy to drink, but it's pretty nice in a way. Bitterness is also a taste. So there was this professor called Tim Costin whom I met in my undergrad days, and he told me that bitterness was a taste, and for me that was mind blowing because as an Indian, I don't know if other people get to taste bitter, but usually it's a lot of chili and a lot of sweet. So bitter being a taste was mind blowing for me. So bitterness is a taste, and this tea is very bitter. So I feel the purpose of the cream or the milk that I'm going to put in, it's going to cut down the bitterness and helps the. It's easier on the stomach. So I'm going to put. We have 10 cups. I'm going to eyeball this, which is I'm going to check the color of the tea. Okay, that looks like a nice tea color. This is the tea color that I prefer, which is it looks. Little dark brown, but I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to put in 1 more cup of milk. So this is the tea color that I like, which is a lot of water and just enough milk to cut the bitterness and make it easy on the stomach. But just to play it safe, because not everybody has the same taste as me, I'm going to put in a little bit more milk. And that's going to make it very light brown. So it was I wouldn't say dark brown. I think the dark brown kind of tea is nice. This is more of a light brown tea. So there's enough milk in that. A little bit of milk left over. Okay, so I'm not going to let that go. I mean, might as well just put it in. So putting that milk in has completely lowered the temperature. It's going to take a while to start boiling again. We also have a coffee decoction. I don't know what this is called, but you put the coffee powder here on top, and I think this is like a weight or a presser that like presses down on the coffee, and you pour boiling hot water on top, and you have these small little holes. Oh, you can see small little holes at the bottom of this container, and that's like a sieve. And the coffee drips down into the lower container here, and we do have some decoction. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, okay, some of it's falling on my hand. I'm going to pull it aside. Okay, we're given the tea enough time to boil. I'm out of tea stories. That's about all the tea stories I have. Here. So what I'm going to do is just to like make it easy, I'm going to use the sieve and another tumbler, pour the tea into the tumbler, and from the tumbler I'm going to pour it into the cups just to make it easy and minimize the mess or reduce the mess. Maybe I put less masala this time. Usually I put a little bit more, so let's see how it comes out. boiling. It's actually I was wrong. This is not that light in color. So I think this is a nice ratio of milk to water. I like the color. It's dark brown. I prefer my tea to be dark brown because that means there's less milk, as compared to it being light brown, which means there's more milk. I don't mind a lot of milk in the tea, but milk also has this, I feel, like a sweetness. So if there's too much milk in the tea, that bitterness of the tea is lost, completely lost. I feel. I could be wrong. I mean, maybe my taste buds are not that sensitive. Maybe others can. So when I drink tea, I like to have that little bit of tea bitterness that you get with the tea. So just to know that, okay, it's nice tea that I'm drinking. Okay. So as I lift the vessel, the induction stove, I think for some reason, I don't know, I shouldn't say some reason, somehow detects it, and it's like, no, put it back. And this is the hero of the tea in the last session.
Hey,
Sukeshwara, please come.
Hey, hi.
That's Sukesh. So he saved the tea on the first batch when I put a lot of tea. Okay, we're done. Now I'm going to pour the tea. Let me see if I can reduce the camera angle just to show the cups we have. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. I've put 12 cups here, but I think I'm only going to use 10. Don't need 12. I'm going to move the cups out for you. I'm going to arrange our cups. So one of my colleagues, Alam Prabhu, said put the handles out. It'll be easier for people to pick up the cups. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. ಹೌದ್ರಿ, ನಿಮ್ದೇ ಇದೇನೋ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ?
ನಾ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ನಲ್ರಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೇರಿ, ಹಾಯ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ.
ಹಾಯ್ ಸರ್,
this is Dilip sir. That's this.
ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಾ?
ಯಾವುದು?
ನೀವು ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ,
ನಾನ್ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ
ಮಸಾಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ.
ಬೈ ದ ವೇ, ನಾನು ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೇಳಾಗಿದೆ ನೀವು ಮಸಾಲ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್
ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ಮಸಾಲಾನು ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ.
This is Dilip Deshpande. He is the one who made the masala that I told you about earlier.
Yes.
I actually prefer his masala because it has less pepper as compared to Everest masala, but Everest is also pretty nice. ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ.
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಟೀ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್. ಸೂಪರ್. ಈಗ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕುಡಿದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Like I mentioned before, everybody in this office is very polite. The best way to find out if the tea is nice or not is if you just see. If they haven't drunk the tea at the end of the day, okay.
ಕಲರ್ ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೂಪರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
ಓಹೋ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಸ್ಮೆಲ್
ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ
ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಮುಖ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಟೀ ಮುಖ್ಯ.
ಓಕೆ. Okay, that's the last one.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು
ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು.
ಇನ್ಫೆಂಟ್ರಿ ರೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಟೀ ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ,
ಏಡಿ ಅಂತ ಟೀ ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಹೆಸರು ಏಡಿ. ಆದಿತ್ಯ ದಿಲೀಪ್.
We were walking back to metro one day, and so he has a very sweet daughter who's very smart, and she's already financially savvy. That's of course. So
thank you.
We are GoFlamingo. See you. Bye. This has been tea.
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕುಡಿ. ಸೂಪರ್.
Okay.
Thank you, Aditya ji.